Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sound hit me first. A soft moan barely audible, slipping under the doorway like a poisoned whisper. For a moment my mind refused to accept it. My hand froze on the doorknob of our bedroom, my heart stumbling in my chest the way it sometimes did when I woke from a nightmare. Only this time I was wide awake. And the nightmare was real. I pushed the door open an inch, then another. His voice, low, breathless, intimate in a way he had not been with me in months. My throat tightened until it burned. I wanted to back away. I wanted to run. But some twisted part of me needed proof. Needed to witness the exact moment my world fractured. So I let my eyes follow the sound to where he lay with her. Her hair spilled across my pillow. His hands on her hips. Their laughter soft and cruel in its obliviousness. I did not scream. I did not cry. I just stood there as my heart cracked like thin glass under heavy boots. He had always joked that I would never leave him. He said it with a laugh while pulling me close. He said it whenever I tried to talk about the drifting distance between us. And sometimes I laughed with him because I wanted to believe that devotion was enough. That faithfulness lived somewhere inside him, even if I could not always see it. But in that moment, I understood something sharp and painful. I did not need to leave him. His mistress would do it for me. I stepped back and closed the door without a sound. My legs shook as I walked down the hall, but my mind was strangely calm. Numbness often arrives before the pain. It gives you a thin layer of armor before the blade sinks deeper. In the kitchen, the clock ticked with absurd loudness. Each second a reminder that I was still here, still standing, still breathing. I leaned against the counter, forcing my mind to replay what I had seen so I could not slip into denial later. The scent of coffee grounds lingered in the air, mixing with the faint lemon cleaner I had used earlier. Everything felt too ordinary for what had just happened. It infuriated me. When he finally came downstairs, he looked freshly showered, smiling in that careless way he did after winning at something he never admitted he played. He kissed my cheek. I felt his lips on my skin and my stomach twisted. He asked why dinner was not ready yet. I stared at him for a long moment. I watched the ease in his posture, the way his shirt clung slightly damp to his skin, the faint smell of my floral soap on him. He did not even try to hide it. I considered telling him then. I considered shattering the illusion with one sharp sentence. But something inside me whispered to wait, to watch, to let the next layer of truth reveal itself. Betrayal rarely sits alone. It tends to keep company with more lies, more secrets, more hidden wounds. So I stayed quiet. The next days felt like walking on thin ice. Every sound from his phone made my pulse jump. Every late night at work felt like another confirmation. He stayed distracted, light, almost giddy. I became invisible, a fixture in my own home. But the universe has a strange way of aligning truth with timing. 3 days later, I received a message request from an unfamiliar name. Her name. My chest tightened as I opened it. She wrote that she was done with him. She wrote that he had promised her things he never delivered. She wrote that she knew I deserved better than a man who loved neither of us enough to stay true. And then she wrote the words that ended everything. She said she was leaving him. For good. And she thought I should know. I stared at the message until my eyes blurred. Not from sadness. From clarity. It was shocking how quickly a truth you already knew could still feel like a punch. When he came home that evening, he looked unsettled. His smile was forced this time. His eyes avoided mine. He asked if I had seen anything unusual online. He asked if I had talked to anyone. And suddenly he looked smaller. Not the confident man who believed he owned my loyalty. Not the man who joked that I would never leave. He looked like someone who finally realized that consequences were real and sharp, and waiting just beyond the door he had opened with his own choices. I felt a strange peace settle in me. I told him I had seen everything I needed to see. His face went pale. He tried to explain. He tried to spin excuses into something soft enough for me to hold. But every word fell flat. I had already let him go the moment I closed the bedroom door. It was his mistress, not me, who had ended us. And there was something poetic in that. Something final. I walked away that night with nothing but my keys and my resolve. He called after me. He begged. He promised he could change. I did not turn around. Sometimes the most powerful goodbye is the one you do not speak at all.